Hey YouTube's Cape Cod Cuda. I'm working on that 2001 Yamaha V-Star Classic 1100. When I used that harmonic balancer puller, it had split and broke, so I had to get a top and die set. The center crank threads were stripped, so I had to use one of these dies to clean the threads. It was the 16 mil times the 1.5, and I also cleaned the threads on the bolt that came off, and that's also a 16. The tap was a 16.15, and I got it over here where the bike is. I just came over. That kit was $92 at Harbor Freight. Titanium set. Coming back over to the bike. Alright. See, here's the flywheel one-way clutch, starter clutch. See, it's free flowing. What I did was I took it apart, and the bearings and everything were, when I took it apart, this was locked. You couldn't turn it either way, forwards or backwards, clockwise or counterclockwise. You could not turn it. And I had took this snap ring off, pulled this ring off, and pulled this bearing out, and the needle bearing in here was moving freely, and so wasn't this. So I put it back together, and as you can see, it moves freely. This is all the OEM stuff, and what I think is because the bike sat for so long, that condensation from being hot, cold being stored inside of a garage, that it possibly got condensation in there and just kind of rusted up, kind of like a motor does sometimes. And you know, the motor wasn't turning over, so it wasn't being able to lubricate it with oil. And the starter, because this had froze up a little, the starter wouldn't turn. There's no burn marks on the bearings. There's no sign of wear, no shininess or anything like that. So I put it back together. I'm going to put the bike back together to see how it works. If it starts up and stuff and I can ride it fine, then I'll just leave it the way it is. Again, I bought the whole kit with the upgraded dampener, and I paid, I think it was like $180, maybe $180 for everything. And because that harmonic balancer had damaged my threads when it broke, I had to buy this for $90. This tap and die set. So this is real. It's really easy, just time consuming doing it. And when I was cleaning my threads on this, my crank had spun, and I had to crank it back. So I hope I didn't mess up timing. These timing marks, this keyway lines up to the little dots on this, and then the dot up here lines up with that. So, and then when you put this back on, you put all these little cylinders inside these springs, and you put line of two on, one on this side, one on that side, same thing on all of them. And then you can see these little prongs sit in between them, and on here there's a little dot, and you have to line that dot up with the keyway. Line that dot up with that keyway like that. So when you put this back together, this dot and keyway is going to line up with that dot. This is a little off because when I go to put this in, I'll line it back up, push this down. So that's what's going on. Just another update. Cape Cod Cuda signing out. Thanks for watching.